verse 3 and 31 and 32, and it says, envy thou not the man of violence. The Bible don't even agree with itself. Envy thou not the man of violence, and choose what? None of his ways. Oh, wait a minute, dung. Let's go back up here again. Look here, what does it say at the end of this verse? Right here. It says, but to fear the Lord thy God and to walk in his ways. We got to be jealous, fearful, fear-mongering, a liar, foolish, vengeful, a pimp with a savior complex, a man, an angry, uncontrolled, violent person. And it tells you right here, envy thou not the man of violence and choose none of his ways. And the rest of the verse finishes off right here in 32. It says, for the perverse is an abomination to the Lord. So guess what? Yahweh, by his violent character, makes himself perverse and an abomination. What does it mean to be perverse? It means turned away from what is right or good. Ain't nothing on that list of characteristics good. It's corrupt, like it states in the definition. What is an abomination? Something regarded as disgust or hatred. Yes, that shit's disgusting what he is. His character is disgusting. At least what we've unveiled so far, it's about to get even worse. And if Yahweh is an abomination, what does that make the Hebrews who walk in his ways? You got to ask the fair questions. You got to ask the right fair questions. You got to be fair. If Yahweh is an abomination, what does that make the Hebrews who walk in his ways? Because guess what? We emulate what we worship, Israel. If we worship a perverse abomination, then as a consequence, we act like perverse abominations. Because such gods are what? That we worship become our role models. Waspi, Book of Judgment, chapter 30, 13 through 16, it states, listen up. Nevertheless, if you worship a God, this is from the Great Spirit, y'all. Nevertheless, if you worship a God or Lord, then let such a God or Lord be what? Your role model. To do what? To cast your own eyes into your soul and to purify yourself in the sight of the Creator whom you cannot doubt. In that respect, it is no sin for you to worship any good ideal. Look at that. The Creator don't get jealous. If it's a good ideal, go ahead and worship it. As long as it casts you straight into your soul and leads you to your highest light, to your highest potential. Huh? Ain't no insecurity over this way. Huh? In that respect, it is no sin for you to worship any good ideal, whom you shall emulate, whom you shall emulate in your behavior. Yet, because of such worship, this you shall also prove, Israel. Because of such worship, Israel, this is what you shall also prove. That whoever of the ancients was great, and whatever God was well known, that you shall set your soul onto love, such as Yahweh. Behold, familiar spirits will come to you and do what? Deceive you, professing to be that ancient or that God. Huh? And if you believe them, Hebrew, then this too you shall prove. When you are dead and your soul risen from the dead, behold, some deceiving spirit will come to you and use you. Huh? Nor shall you discover for a long season that you have been the what? The dupe. That you have been the what? The dupe and slave of a what? Of an unscrupulous master. Unscrupulous, meaning unprincipled. Unprincipled means what? Lacking moral principles. Huh? Let's continue to prove with Deuteronomy 20. We're going to prove this with just Deuteronomy 20. We ain't even going to be scattered around the Bible. We're going to prove in Deuteronomy 20 that Yahweh lacks moral principles. We're going to prove that he's an unscrupulous master with his own Bible. Huh? KJV Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 20, verses 10 through 17. We're going to chop through it. Watch this. Verse 10. When you comest unto a city, they're about to wage war on people. When you come unto a city, proclaim peace unto it. Verse 11, if it opens and answers peaceably, then all within that city shall be tributaries and serve thee. Let's be real with it. This is slavery and extortion. What is slavery? Slavery is when you force others to labor for your own profit under the threat of what? Of violence. Why? Because if they don't submit, then what did Yahweh command you to do if they don't submit? To kill them. We're gonna get to that. But to be tributary is what? It means to pay tribute to another, to acknowledge what? Submission. To obtain protection or to purchase peace. That's also along the same lines as what extortion is. Extortion is what? Obtaining something by force, intimidation, or illegal power. Thus, Yahweh is a slave master and an extortionist. Right there in Deuteronomy. Here it is again. We're going to continue Deuteronomy, verse 12. But if it makes war against thee, then thou shalt what? Smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. Thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. This is called premeditated murder. Violating Yahweh's own commandment in Exodus 20:13, which states thou shalt not kill, or murder, however you want to put it. You can't escape it because it's kill, or it's murder, or it's murder, or it's kill. You wrongfully taken lives. Thus, Yahweh is a what? He's a slave master. He's an extortionist. Now we got him on murder. He's a murderer. Let's continue. Verse 14. But the women and the little ones, but the women and the kids, the women and the little ones, those who's grieving right now because Israel just killed their daddies and their uncles and their grandfathers and their brothers. But the women and the little ones shalt thou take to thyself. This is called covetous kidnapping.